Well, happy Wednesday afternoon. I am at home here and I'm gonna do up some smoked chicken and some ribs for a couple soldiers over there at Fort Indiantown Gap. The one young lady is here from Georgia and she's jonesing for some barbecue. There's the chicken that I had in brine overnight, and the brine that I use, I take my kosher salt, I take my apple cider vinegar, and I'll use about maybe a half a cup, a quarter cup of kosher salt, and I'll put it in the pot here with I want to say maybe 2 cups of water to begin with, all right? And then you stir that up and dissolve it to the best of your ability. And then I'd add maybe about 1/3 apple cider vinegar to this pot, all right? Put your chicken in there, and then obviously you want to fill this up as far to the top as possible. Now what I did, I added a couple cans of beer in there also, all right? And I let it brine overnight, and then of course I flipped the chicken. I got up about maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I flipped the chicken so brine would get on the other side of it, okay? There's the ribs I'm going to do today. These are what they call country-style boneless ribs, all right? Actually, it's just cut up pork meat, but they like to call them country-style boneless ribs around here. And they work out pretty well for me. I'll put this rub on there. It's a good rub, all right? I just started using this. It's coffee and garlic rub, all right? Pick this up at our IGA, or Giant Store, excuse me, Giant Store. And I'll rub that on there real nice. And I'll put these out on my smoker. And I'll make sure I get some grill marks on there for presentation, okay? And then I'll end up putting the ribs back in here with my sauce, barbecue sauce, well, whatever your favorite might be, okay? And I'll tent it with some foil, and I'll let that slow simmer in its own juices and that while this is all cooking up. So that's where I'm at right now. What I'll do, I'll shut this off for the time being, and when I set it up outside on a smoker, I'll do some more videotaping. If you guys have any questions, by all means, get in touch with me either on my YouTube channel, or you can send me a private message through Facebook. Alright, I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, we're back at it. I got the chicken out of the pot there, obviously. I pat it down to the best I could, alright? And you have choices here, what you can do. A lot of people that do, you know, barbecue and that, and use a smoker, they'll take a yellow mustard, alright? And just put it all over the top of the bird, lightly, alright? Because all that is used for is, if you want, for lack of a better term, a sticking agent, all right? You won't taste the mustard, all right? You put that all over the bird, and then you season it with your rub. But you can also use just a cooking spray, and I've been doing that lately. It just makes it a little bit easier, you know. You just gotta spray it lightly. Get enough on there, and then you take your favorite rub, you know, and you're just gonna get it all over there like that. Don't be afraid to use it, you know. And then you just want to rub it in to the best of your ability. And of course I'll do the other side here in a moment also. But I'm just showing you this so you guys get an idea. Alright, you can work on this any way you want. And like I said, you can use the yellow mustard, or you can use a cooking spray. All this is going to do is hold the rub on this chicken. And that there doesn't make a bit of difference, not when you're smoking, okay? My smoker is going to be at about 250 degrees. And I'll take my thermometer out there, you know, to get an internal temperature to make sure that the meat is all, you know, cooked on the inside real good. Because a lot of times when you're smoking this, that won't even pop up, okay? You can even pull that out if you want, alright? Alright, that's where I'm at right now. I'll be back with you guys in a few minutes. Alright, there's my chicken. I took my rub and I got it all over it, as you can see, top and bottom on the sides, and rubbed it in real nice. And I'll be taking it outside and putting it on the smoker here in a couple minutes. Of course, the ribs, right now there's no rub on there whatsoever. Like I said, they're going to go out there, and I want to get the grill marks on there real good. And then after I do that, I'll get my barbecue sauce, put that back in here, coat the ribs with the barbecue sauce, and then I'll foil that over. So, alright, I'm going to go outside here. I'll fire up the smoker, and then I'll video a little bit of the process outside there. I'll be back with you. Alright, we're outside here, and this is a smoker I'll be using today. This is a Masterbuilt. It's a propane smoker, and I've had this one here, oh, I want to say maybe 6 years now, 6 seasons, and she's done a real nice job for me. As you can see, I mean, I got racks all over the place. I can do a lot of smoking in this thing at once. Now, what I do down here, this is where you normally put your wood, you know, but I've learned in the past and from other guys, take an old cast iron pan, put that in there, and then you put your wood chunks in there. Today I'm going to be using hickory, all right, chunks, and pecan chunks. Don't get the little pieces of, I don't even know what you call them, flakes or whatever. That won't do it. You want chunks in here. Okay? Again, it's a Masterbuilt. It's a propane smoker, and it does a real nice job. And I'll be back with you. Okay, we're back outside here. I got all my ribs in. Got my smoker going at, right now it's at 200 degrees. I want to get it up to between 230 and 250. I got my chunks of wood in there, my pecan and my hickory. There's my bird right there. And I got a drip pan underneath, which also has water in it. So you want moisture in here. My ribs are up there on top. Let me see if I can pull these out for you. Bear with me. It's tough working with one hand for the camera and one for everything else. There's my ribs, alright? Now, they're not seasoned or anything right now. Like I said, I want to get the grill marks on them. And there's approximately 36 boneless country-style pork ribs on there. They ought to be pretty good. And there's my bird. I don't know if you can see it without a smoke or not, but that's it. So I'll let that go for a couple hours here. Then I'll check the internal temperature of the bird to make sure it's up to snuff. And I'll bring it in after that. And I want to wrap it up for the soldiers over there at Fort Indiantown Gap. Alright? And a rule of thumb, if you're looking, it ain't cooking. Remember that, alright? Try not to open up your smoker too often, alright? Because all you're going to do is slow down the smoking process. So now we just sit and have a couple adult beverages, or libation, as my buddy Bill would say. And we just wait for this to do its magic. And I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, it's been about I want to say a little bit over an hour, maybe hour and a half. And my smoker's holding pretty good at 250 degrees, just shy of 250. There's my bird, she's coming along pretty good. And my boneless ribs here. Let's see what we got here. Yep, see, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to get my line marks on these, all right, for my presentation. That's very important to me, okay? But they're coming along nicely here. Let's pull one from the center. Yeah. I'm hoping you guys can see that. So we'll let that go for a little bit longer, and then I'll end up pulling these out and, you know, putting them over on the other side so I can get some lines on the other side here, obviously. And then I'll put that in my foil pan with my barbecue sauce, and I'm going to do what they call a Texas cheat. You can Google that and you'll understand exactly what I mean. And you gentlemen and ladies that already do a lot of smoking, you'll know exactly what I'm doing there. Okay, I'll be back with you shortly. Alright folks, as you can see at this point, my chicken is looking absolutely amazing, right? We're about 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes into the smoke. And then I took my ribs, and as I said earlier, I'm going to put them in this foil pan. And as you can see, they turn out absolutely delicious looking. Now, I already have some barbecue sauce down below in that pan. And what I'm going to do now is, for these ribs here, I use this sauce. This isn't bad, all right? And the honey flavor just kicks it up a nice little notch, all right? I can get this at the Dollar General at $1 a bottle. So I'm going to put that on my ribs there, and I'll leave it open for a while like this so I can get some smoked flavor in this barbecue sauce. And then I'll come back out here and I will tent this and foil it all up so it cooks on through. Alright? I'll be back with you a little bit later on. Okay, as you can see my ribs right there, I took my brush and I brushed the barbecue sauce all over them, and I added some more water in there with them. And what I'm going to do now is I'll take my foil and foil it up, close it all up, leave a little bit open here for breathing space, and just let it do its thing, nice and slow and easy. My chicken, she's looking pretty good. What I'll do with that is I take my little bottle here. It says barbecue, as you can see. And what I have in here is I have a mixture of water and apple juice. And I spritz that just a little bit, just on the top there. Just like that, all over. And of course I'll flip it over. You won't see that part of it, but I'll flip it to make sure I get moisture all over it. And this should turn out pretty amazing for my soldiers over there in Fort Indiantown Gap. Alright folks, I will talk to you later on. I hope you liked this video. Any questions or comments, by all means, throw it out there. Let me know what you think. If you have other ideas, let me know, okay? I do this just because I love barbecuing and grilling. Take care of yourselves. God bless the United States of America.